Scott Simons, and welcome to The Secret Ingredient. Hey, welcome to The Secret Ingredient in New York City. We are here at the Bowery Culinary Center with Kari Naegler, who is the culinary expert at this store. Kari, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, I'm very excited.
You know, I want to tell everyone our secret ingredient today is pork tenderloin. Any meat sold in our stores is from animals raised without antibiotics or added growth hormones. And the tenderloin is the most lean and tender cut of pork available. It's like the filet mignon of pork. Okay, so let's start cooking.
Okay, so we have here, this is your average pork tenderloin, which is about a little bit over a pound. They're usually about 1.5 to 2 pounds.
Yep.
And what we're going to do today is we're going to make pork cutlets out of this, Sicilian style. So we're going to actually cut these into small pieces, and we're going to pound them out so that they'll get a little bit more tender. So these are about 1.5 ounce portions, and what we're going to do is put them on their side. You can press them down a little. Again, it's so tender, and we're going to kind of just bang them out. When you tenderize them, you kind of want to move. You want to move the mallet towards you and away from you. You don't want to actually press down on the meat.
Okay.
You're actually spreading it. We're going to take some of this of our organic buttermilk, and we're actually going to cover the pork with that for a couple hours. But you can really do 15 to 30 minutes. But it's going to actually make it more tender and give it a great flavor.
Okay. Buttermilk is actually naturally low fat, so it's a nice little treat that is lower in fat than a lot of things out there with the same sort of luxurious mouthfeel.
Okay, so we're going to start our standard breading procedure, which is flour, and this is just unbleached wheat flour, and I'm just going to season it with a little salt. Okay. Like a pinch of salt.
Could you use whole wheat on this if you want?
You definitely can, definitely. And then we're going to do our egg mixture, which is just going to be, for what we're doing, a whole pork tenderloin, you'd use about 5 eggs for this. And for the 4 pieces we're doing, we'll use 3 eggs for that. And I'm going to add some Pecorino Romano cheese. And we're going to whisk that up. And the cheese actually helps the final stage, which is the breadcrumbs, stick a little bit better to the pork. So I'm going to just whisk these up and add some of this cheese to it. And then lastly, the third mixture will be the breadcrumbs. We just have your regular Italian breadcrumbs that you buy at the store.
Okay.
And we're going to add some more cheese to this, about a 1/4 cup.
Very good.
And I'm going to add a little bit of some fresh chopped oregano to that and some salt.
Beautiful.
And we're just going to mix that up. So now we're going to take our pork that we had soaked in the buttermilk, coat it with the bread crumbs, or the flour, and then we're going to dip it right in the egg mixture, and then finally in our breadcrumbs to coat it nicely. And you can see all that great cheese in there too.
Oh yeah, I see it. Okay, so we have breaded everything and we've heated our oil. Okay.
And we're going to heat this up on medium heat, and so that we're actually going to do a shallow fry method.
Okay.
So you can tell our oil's getting nice and hot.
Yep.
And we're going to go ahead and just put these in here. We don't want to put too much in the pan because we don't want the oil to lose its heat, so that it's not going to give it a nice brown color.
Okay.
So you want it to be evenly spread out. Exactly. Otherwise you're going to end up with poached chicken, and you're not going to have that crispiness.
You certainly wouldn't want a pan smaller than this for
right, unless
cutlets.
You do 2 at a time.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna, let it sit for a little bit until it gets nice and brown. A lot of people have the tendency to go in and just turn it right away, and then you just lose that whole caramelization and the browning.
Okay.
You definitely want them. This is the brown that you're looking for. So it's nice and crispy. Okay, so these are done, and what we're going to do is just transfer them to a plate, and we're going to make the sauce for them.
Okay.
And if you'd like, you can drain these on a paper towel. What we're going to do now that our pork is cooked, we're going to start our sauce. So we're going to take some extra virgin olive oil, and this is the new 365 brand of olive oils, which they have a Spanish, an Italian, and an extra virgin. And we're going to put, we're going to just start off with about a couple tablespoons of olive oil to start our sauce. And we have this again on medium heat. And we're going to start out with some sliced garlic.
Very good.
Very thin sliced garlic. And some quartered lemon slices. And we're actually going to fry the lemon slices, and it's just a great part of the sauce.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Have our oil heated. You always want to make sure your oil's nice and hot before you start your cooking process or sauteing. And we're going to add some nice lemon slices to that. And it really looks great with the presentation.
Beautiful already.
Yes. And so we're going to just brown those off a bit. Take a couple minutes.
Okay.
So we've reached about the stage of brownness that we want with this, and now I'm going to go ahead and add some of these capers. About a tablespoon, and some of these mixed olives here.
And this is something you could just kind of eyeball depending on what you like.
Exactly.
Right?
A great point is you can add a little bit more garlic or lemon if that's what you want. So actually, if you want to start with our side dish that we're serving this with, which is just some broccoli rabe. This is some fresh broccoli rabe, but I've actually already blanched some, which means we just clean off some of the stems and trim them and hit it in boiling water, and then rapidly cool it down with ice water.
Yeah, so it's still very green, nice and crunchy, not overcooked, and it makes the sauteing time very quick.
Exactly.
Right? Okay.
So we're just going to do simple olive oil and a little bit of garlic with that.
Okay.
And so now I have the olives and the capers. We're just sauteing them here. So now I'm going to hit it with a little bit of white wine, and we're going to reduce it a little bit after that. So about a quarter cup white wine, because we do want this to coat the pork nicely. And we're going to just kind of reduce that by half, so we're going to cook some of that off.
Gosh, that smells good.
Yes. Okay. So we've reduced our wine, and now we're going to add some lemon juice. And that's about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And I'm going to add some flat leaf chopped Italian parsley, which is not the curly parsley, it's the flat parsley. And we want a good amount of that in there. And then last, what we're going to do is we're going to add some butter. And we're going to whisk in the butter, and it's actually going to finish the sauce for us.
Okay.
I'm not going to salt this because of the capers are very salty and the olives, so there's no need to salt this. I'm going to add a little bit of fresh ground black pepper.
Okay. It smells great.
Yes. So this is about where we need to be, and we're going to go ahead and put some cold butter. And as we put it in, just whisk it right in there, and it just changes the whole texture of the sauce.
Creates a nice sheen on the sauce.
Yes, and it just thickens it right up as well. And we're going to add our pork cutlets to this and heat them right in the sauce, and we're just going to coat these evenly on each side. We've coated the cutlets nicely with the sauce, and we're just going to put these right on here.
Beautiful.
And then we're going to pour this delicious sauce right over the top of each piece.
Beautiful.
So we have this great olive caper with a little bit of butter and those nice lemon slices right on here.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, make sure you get some of the rabe with that.
It's absolutely excellent. The thing that really sings in this dish is the lemon. The whole sauteed, very thinly sliced lemon with the peel. It's amazing.
And
Kari,
it's nice to just eat the lemons with that too.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been fun.
Yes, thank you.
I'm Josh from Whole Foods Market, Cowell Hill in Philadelphia, and you're watching The Secret Ingredient.